Can you try to return to work after you've been approved for disability benefits? I'm Jonathan Ginsberg. I'm a Social Security disability attorney. I represent clients in all 50 states, from Maine to California. I'm able to do that because disability hearings are now done virtually by phone or by video. So any place you live, any place that I happen to be, it doesn't really matter because the hearings are done, again, by phone or video. So if I can be of assistance, please let me know. I wanted to talk to you today about a question I get frequently from clients as well as people just asking questions, and that is, I've been approved for disability benefits. Can I return to work? Can I do anything at all? Or do I have to basically sit at home and look at the four walls? And the answer is yes, you can try to return to work, and in fact Social Security encourages you to try to return to work. The problem is that the return to work program that they use is a complete disaster. It's easy to get confused, it's easy to get into overpay status, so it's really dangerous to try to return to work, and it shouldn't be that way, but it is, and I'm going to tell you why. So first of all, let's talk about what their return to work program is, and basically it's something called a trial work period, and in theory it sounds great. Basically you're approved for disability benefits, you can try to return to work, you can work up to 9 months without impacting your benefits, meaning you can go to work tomorrow, you've been approved, you go to work tomorrow, it doesn't matter how much you make, you can make $20,000 a month, it doesn't matter, you still keep your benefits. And only when you exceed 9 months of trial work, then do you go into overpay status. So basically it sounds like, oh, easy to try to work. Well, here's the problem with it. First of all, the 9 months is in a rolling 5-year period of time. So for example, if you start to work, you get approved at the beginning of 2024, you work 3 months in 2024, you work 3 months in 2025, you work 3 months in 2026. Then the next month you work in 2026 or 2027, you've now exceeded the 9 months. You're in overpay status. The problem is there's no way to know where you are in this process unless you keep your own records. And obviously over 5 years, it's easy to make a mistake. There's no place to go to see in real time where you're at. There's no reporting. There's no place online where you can go. So if you don't happen to remember that you actually did work 3 or 4 years ago and exceed a certain amount of money, then you could easily go into overpay status. In fact, I got an email from a young man that I know just from in my community, and he said to me, because I got a letter from Social Security saying I was overpaid by $54,000 and they want me to pay it back. I don't have the money. What do I do? And my advice to him was to file bankruptcy on it. That's really about the only thing you can do. There is a form you can file to ask for a waiver, but it's really hard to get that. You can go in front of the judge and ask the judge to declare some or all of the overpay waived. But again, judges are reluctant to do that unless you really have no way of making any kind of money. But the point is, and it's risky to do that. So I don't think that necessarily that's the ideal way to go about doing it. Again, my feeling is just bankrupt on it. That's the simple and easy way to do. But of course, that raises other questions. Do you really want to file bankruptcy? Big picture, though, is it's very easy to get overpaid. Let's dig into the weeds about that. Why is it so easy to get overpaid? Well, number one is the way they look at trial work periods is it's basically if you earn a certain amount of money, then you use up one of your 9 trial work period months. In 2024, I believe the trial work period month is $1,110. So if you earn $1,000 a month gross, not a problem. You don't use up one of your 9 months. You earn $1,200, you used up one of your 9 months. So again, you've got to keep track of that. It's gross earnings, it's not net earnings, so it's basically before taxes. And then when you look at it, when they look at it, they look at the month you received your check. So in other words, if the date on the check is March 3rd, but it represents February's work, that counts as March trial work period month. So you might, I remember I had a young man a number of years ago, and he said, well, I did all this work, but it was for this month, but they paid me the next month, and that next month he had, more money. Bottom line is they look at the month you received the payment in as opposed to the month you did the work in. Easy to get confused. You get a bonus that can throw you over that trial work period month. The trial work period changes that the amount that you need. The $1,110 was lower than that in 2023. It'll be more than that in 2025. So you have to keep track of what the appropriate amount is. Again, another area of confusing. I think that the biggest problem with this is that the trial work period month is different than substantial gainful activity. And if you remember when you were applying for disability, there was a dollar figure that represents substantial gainful activity. In 2024, it's $1,550. So if you basically are working or trying to work before you apply for, before you get approved, and you earn $1,400, that does not count as SGA. If you earn $1,600, it would. But the trial work period is a different number. So, why should the number be different before you apply than it is after you apply? It makes no sense to me that the trial work period limit is different than SGA, because many people say, I've had people call me and say, well, my earnings were below SGA. Why is that a problem? Well, because the trial work period month uses a different set of numbers. I think, again, the biggest problem that I see with it is there's no way to check in real time where you're at. It's easy to get confused with this. It's a rolling 5-year period of time, so you've got to figure out where you are in that process. It's just really easy to get messed up. And if I remember reading something that some huge percentage, 80% of the people who did trial work period ended up with some sort of an overpayment because it was just so easy to mess it up. So I'm telling my clients, and I'm telling you the same thing, is if you decide to go to work after you're approved for benefits, number one, you need to know what the trial work period number is, the limit is for the year and the years after you've been approved. I would tell you to keep your earnings, your gross earnings, below that number ongoing. Don't even get close to it. So if it's $1,110 in 2024, then keep your earnings to $1,000 a month for 2024. If it goes up next year, 2025, then maybe add another $50, $100 to it. Shouldn't be that way, because obviously you want to see whether you can work. That's the goal of the program. The problem is it's too easy to get confused. So, and obviously the amount of money we're talking about is not a lot of money. If your monthly benefit is $1,500 a month, that's not a ton of money. If you add another $1,000 to it, you're at $2,500 a month. It's still not a ton of money. But again, you're avoiding the problem of getting into overpay status, which, like I said, is a real problem, because if you get an overpay, then at some point they just cut off your benefits until you either get it waived or you file bankruptcy on it. So again, it can create a lot of hardship, while they stop your benefits, pending some sort of resolution of that overpay situation. So too easy, in my opinion, too easy to get into overpay status. Trial work period is a flawed program, in my opinion. And again, my advice to people is just to, if you're going to work, just keep your earnings below at least $100 a month below the trial work period limit. You need to know where that is, and I'll put that in the show notes as far as where to find the table of earnings, and just avoid the problem, because it's a screwed up program, and that's just the way it works. So anyway, wish I had better news for you about that, but that's just the way it is. Visit me online at ssdanswers.com. You can download my Secrets to Winning Disability Survival Kit. It comes by email. I would also ask you, if you thought this video was helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my YouTube channel, like our Facebook page, and again, if you have any questions or want a free case evaluation, go to ssdanswers.com. For now, this is Jonathan Ginsberg, wishing you the best. Thanks a lot. Hi, this is Jonathan Ginsberg, and I hope you found this video helpful. If you'd like to know more about how to win your Social Security disability case, I'd like to invite you to download my Secrets to Getting Approved Early Survival Kit that I created just for people like you. Currently, I'm making the survival kit available at no cost, and I encourage you to grab your copy now. Some of the topics I cover include: how do I know if I have a case? Is it the right time for me to file my claim? 9 common mistakes that can doom your case. The 3 must-have arguments you use to win your case. And a topic that every disability claimant wants to know: how to avoid trick questions from the judge. If you or a loved one need to win Social Security disability benefits, you'll find the Survival Kit essential reading. Download your Survival Kit right now and at no cost. Just visit ssdanswers.com/survival and sign up. It's that easy. Please act now. And as always, I wish you the best.